Paul says, look at the majesty of God. Look at the amazing, breathtaking designs that He has created, and look what He's done to save you. Look at everything that God has done. Everything has been created for Him and by Him and to Him. Speaking of Jesus Christ. And if you think about that for just a moment, then verse 12 of chapter 1 in Romans makes perfect sense. He says, therefore, I urge you, brothers, by the mercies of God, to present your bodies a living and holy sacrifice acceptable to God, which is your logical service of worship. It's reasonable when you consider who God is and what He has done. What are you going to give to Him? How do you respond to His grace and mercy? How do you respond to the truth of His word, restricting your passions and your appetites into a guided, even pressurized situation where you're able to accomplish His glory and righteous actions? What do you give to someone that has made it all? Well, you can give to Him what He has given to you to use as you see fit. And when you respond to His identity, to what you understand of His grace toward you, which includes salvation, but it's more than saving you. It's more than bringing the dead sinner, dead in his trespasses and sins, back to life. It's more than that. It's giving to us His perspective. It's informing us of His philosophy. It's granting to us an understanding of His definitions of right and wrong, good and evil. And so this grace of God is abundant everywhere you look. You see His grace when someone sets a plate of food down in front of you. You need to recognize that. That's the grace of God. That's a gift. When you take a breath of air, that's a gift. When you take a drink of water, all these physical blessings that we enjoy because of God's kindness, those are expressions of His grace. Certainly Jesus Christ and what He did and the indwelling presence of His own Spirit are expressions of God's grace, of His absolute mind-boggling genius and His presence with us, His purpose for us, His love toward us. All these things bring us to this logical conclusion, and that is, what do you give? What do you present to the one who deserves everything? All honor and power and glory and dominion belong to Him forever. So what do you give to Him? You give Him your heart and your body, your mind, your emotions, everything follows. When you love God with all of your heart, soul, mind, and strength, then that changes the way you behave. It changes the way you worship. It changes everything. So, because God is the source and the direction for all glory, Paul said, I urge you, because of that, my dear brothers, to present your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable to God. When you think about it, it's the only logical response. It's the reasonable response from a heart overwhelmed with wonder and awe, with gratitude and faith. So, when it comes right down to it, how you handle your body is challenged. He says here, you present your body, your hands, your feet, your eyes, your ears, everything about you. You present that as a sacrifice, as an offering to the Lord. And when you do that, it no longer belongs to you. You have gifted it to Him. From my perspective, I think He's purchased it. But even though He has legally purchased me, He still extends to me the amazing privilege of offering my body as an act of worship, a sacrifice, holy and acceptable because of what he has done in his sight. So I know that when I offer my body through Jesus Christ as an act of worship, it's going to be acceptable because he makes it acceptable because of what Jesus did. So I can do that with confidence, knowing that God is going to accept it. It's what he told me to give. It's what he told you to give. So let's do that this Tuesday morning. Yeah, it's still morning, barely. This Tuesday morning, let's recommit, refresh our passion to love the Lord and our practical expression. My body does not belong to me. I've given it to him. God bless you. It's easy to do these kinds of things when we grasp how deep and wide and high and long is the love of God. He loves you, and we love you too.